When I come into my studio, I am met with pretty much instant happiness. There's literally stuff everywhere, and that's probably not the correct use of the word literally, but that's the way it's used these days, so I'm gonna roll with it. Oh, hello. I like to have every square inch filled with inspiration. And that's pretty much what my workshop is. I'm just showing you around first, giving you kind of the overall tour. And then I might focus in on some things that are new and that I've redone, and things that I especially like, things that make me really happy. There is a lot in here, but I do a lot and make a lot. And this is what I use, and I know where everything is. It's just a really happy place for me to be. This is just a paper chandelier that I found at the scrap exchange years ago. Love that so much. Why don't we start with the area to the right of my desk when you first come in? I have a lot of storage, and sometimes it doesn't feel like it because I have so many art supplies. I think most of us have a lot of art supplies, and it can get overwhelming. I'm still working on organizing this, and you can tell by, a couple of the drawers having nothing written on the labels. Anytime I see cool old storage units like this, I pick them up if I feel like I can work them into my shop. I love the little acrylic storage containers. They're great for small stamps. I think this shelf wasn't meant to work the way it's working, but I found it at the scrap exchange and decided to buy it and use it for these little plastic Rubbermaid containers. Because they're great for holding binder clips, brads, paper clips, wax melt, embroidery thread, binding cord, just everything you can think of. I think this back here was a wine box, and I'm using it. I use a screwdriver, an electric screwdriver, to just screw things into the wall out here. So I put them right through the wood, and that's fine out here. This is basically just a utility shed. When you look up above, you can see there's not a finished ceiling. I did buy some foam, especially for insulating, and I tucked it into the spots up there, which has helped tremendously with the cold air and also to keep out bugs, spiders, and especially crickets. I don't have anything against crickets, but I don't want them jumping all over the workshop. I love to have plenty of lighting because I record out here. I recently ordered some lights that they're just the bulbs that hang from electrical cords with no shades. Now I might upgrade at some point and buy, okay, let's pan around here. The kind where you can add a shade, because I recently purchased some utilitarian metal baskets that would be amazing to go over these lights. It would be incredible. Okay, let me show you something that my beautiful friend Mary sent to me. She alters dolls and does some very creepy dolls. She told me she would keep it mild for me because I didn't want it too scary, and I want you to just look at this incredible work. Mary is a beautiful person. She's one of the most giving, one of the most talented. Some people just like creepy things. You can tell out here that I like creepy dolls. And I was recently gifted some very old dolls. I'm so excited about this. Some friends of ours messaged me, and it's a couple that Jason and I are friends with, and the man asked if I would be interested in some dolls that had been in his family. So I said, oh my goodness, I would be honored and thrilled. That dollhouse was Michaela's when she was little, and we used it, played dolls all the time, and I made furniture for her Of course, with the concept of reuse, that's always been a really big thing ever since I was a little girl, and I used the caps from toothpaste tubes to make drinking glasses for my Barbie dolls. But Michaela and I would make our own furniture, and we would fill this dollhouse up. Now, though, she doesn't have room for it, so I'm just storing it for her and using it for things. I like the crucifix. I'm not Catholic, but I think this is really beautiful, and I think it's old. Just reminds me to stay centered. I love the beautiful old Tiffany-inspired lamp. Well, when I say old, I'm thinking a couple of decades, and it's definitely inspired by something older. Really beautiful. That belongs to Jason's mother, and I'm just keeping it for her out here. The bust up there is something that I purchased for my retail store when I had that. And it was fun to be able to display different kinds of jewelry, whether it was things that I had made or things that I had purchased. And I'm always finding things that I think are really pretty or interesting. I did not make that little pendant. I found it and purchased it. I keep a lot of moss out here to use for my floral projects in the house, and also to glue into journals. What's in here? Beads. The vintage sign is a sign that I made for my retail store, and I just brought it into the shop because I knew I would be bringing a lot of vintage items into the shop. Another thing that I think Mary made these wands, which I think are spectacular. Look at that. 2 of these, and Mary, there's so much. So Mary sent so many things that it's gonna take me a few videos what is that in there? Oh, candles. It's going to take me a few videos to really show you everything. Look at all of these peacock feathers that she sent. So these are from Mary. So absolutely gorgeous. I just like everything. I said one time that I have a thing for giant paper clips, but I lied. I have a thing for everything. And I know many of us do. I love the little shadow box here. So many little things. This is from my old house where I raised my children, and we would just have so much fun putting things in the shadow box. Every once in a while, when I would be cleaning, I would find that one of the kids had put a Cheeto or part of something that they didn't eat all of it, or maybe something that wasn't supposed to be in there. Nothing bad, but I would say, oh, really? I use bowls to keep things in, antique bowls. I've just got found items. I see bobby pins in there, bottle caps. Also love old keys, so I keep a bowl for that. There are journals everywhere, of course. The plate back there with the Lord's Prayer, that was my grandmother's, and we found that in her apartment. What else can I show you? Okay, this wire shelf back here is new out here. And since I've really gotten into the fiber arts and started making small fiber arts journals, I put this shelf out here to be able to hold the different yarns and threads that I find that I want to incorporate. Beautiful fabric behind the shelf. I did that so that we're not just looking at pegboard. One of the things that I changed up, I've got all of these containers here. Let's turn back around and look at this shelf, and it's going to look a little different than it used to. This shelf used to hold a lot of my journals, but now I have added a lot of journals to my dining room inside. Hello, I see you there. Where I also craft. When it's very cold out here or very hot, I go inside and I'm able to do some things in there. So some of my journals ended up inside, although there are still some out here. Like you can see, I've got 2 sitting here, and they're sort of fanned open so you can see the beautiful outside. And there's one back there. It's an old primitive shoe back there. That reminds me of my friend Valerie who makes the primitives. Bought that from the scrap exchange. So going back over to my desk where I work and have, you know, a lot of my art supplies, a lot of my journals are above the desk. There are a couple sitting out here because I use these and they go sort of back and forth. So it's just journals everywhere. And this journal, oh my goodness, I have to show you this beautiful journal soon. I'll give you a sneak peek. Mary made this and sent to me. Just look at the front. I'm in love with this. I had to just sit and sort of like soak it in. Look how beautiful. And just look at the front of that. You see the paintbrush there? Look at this. It is incredible. A woman after my own heart. What else do I have? There's a doll that my sister bought for me when she lived in Germany. I have a shelf with just old pictures and things. Let's look a little closer. Jay, I think you sent me the hand back there. And then up higher, I have feathers. My mother has guineas, so she sends me guinea feathers. In the drawers, I have paper organized and different themes. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but this corner back here is going to be where my daughter Michaela sits when she is able to come here and craft. I don't want you to think I was just making that up when I said she's going to be helping me. We've talked about this a lot, and it is something that we're planning on doing. Wow, look at all the stuff. It's just a matter of working out a schedule and a way to get it done. Michaela has a 2-year-old, and I just love that child. I love all of my grandchildren more than I can say. She is helping me do some things from her apartment right now. And at some point, she's going to be out here and we're going to work on some things together. Looking up above, I do have baskets that I use for storage. I just use S-hooks, hang up things that I really like the bird cage with the flowers. And then there's another one. You know, I see blank space up there, which means something needs to be hanging up there. Sure, I'll find something. I just wanted to show you some of the things I've done out here. I really like it. I like creating out here. I like sitting out here in my chair. I've got my sewing machine close by. Hello, I do have the piece that goes on the front, but I don't know where the screw is, so it falls off, and I just would rather not mess with it. This paper back here, I want to do something with that soon because it is wallpaper that you can paint on. The basket here is where I keep rolls of paper and such. I hope you enjoyed that tour. This is a small but functional workshop. I love it. There's a large portion of the year where it's very comfortable out here. And if it's not, I have a heater or an air conditioner to make it comfortable. I do have a dehumidifier that I run when things get too humid out here, and that helps save my papers and my art supplies. For the days out of the year, the months, weeks, that it's just way too cold or way too hot to be out here, I work inside. And that's something that I'm fine-tuning. I have my little art bags that I carry back and forth between the house and the workshop. I hope you have enjoyed this updated tour. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon. Bye for now.